What is the most exciting or some of the most exciting things that you see in the future impact of Neuralink, both on the science, the engineering, and societal broad impact?
So Neuralink, I think, at first will solve a lot of brain-related diseases. So it could be anything from like autism, schizophrenia, memory loss. Like everyone experiences memory loss at a certain point in age. Parents can't remember their kids' names and that kind of thing. So there's, I think, a tremendous amount of good that Neuralink can do in solving critical damage to the brain or the spinal cord. There's a lot that can be done to improve quality of life of individuals, and those will be steps along the way. And then ultimately, it's intended to address the existential risk associated with digital superintelligence. Like we will not be able to be smarter than a digital supercomputer. So therefore, if you cannot beat them, join them. And at least we want to have that option.
So you have hope that Neuralink will be able to be a kind of connection to allow us to merge, to ride the wave of the improving AI systems.
I think the chance is above 0%.
So it's non-zero.
Yes.
There's a chance, and that's
so have you seen Dumb and Dumber?
Yes.
So I'm saying there's a chance.
You're saying 1 in a billion or 1 in a million, whatever it was, in Dumb and Dumber.
It went from maybe 1 in a million to improving. Maybe it'll be 1 in 1,000, and then 1 in 100, then 1 in 10. It depends on the rate of improvement of Neuralink and how fast we're able to make progress.
Well, I've talked to a few folks here that are quite brilliant engineers, so I'm excited.
Yeah, I think it's like fundamentally good. Giving somebody back full motor control after they've had a spinal cord injury. Restoring brain functionality after a stroke. Solving debilitating genetically oriented brain diseases. These are all incredibly great, I think. And in order to do these, you have to be able to interface with the neurons at a detailed level, and you need to be able to fire the right neurons, read the right neurons, and then effectively you can create a circuit, replace what's broken with silicon, and essentially fill in the missing functionality. And then over time, we can develop a tertiary layer. So if like the limbic system is a primary layer, then the cortex is like the second layer. And as I said, obviously the cortex is vastly more intelligent than the limbic system, but people generally like the fact that they have a limbic system and a cortex. I haven't met anyone who wants to delete either one of them. So they're like, okay, I'll keep them both. That's cool.
The limbic system's kind of fun.
Yeah, that's where the fun is. Yep, absolutely. And then people generally don't lose the cortex either. Right, so they like having the cortex and the limbic system.
Yeah.
And then there's a tertiary layer, which will be digital superintelligence. And I think there's room for optimism, given that the cortex, the cortex is very intelligent and the limbic system is not, and yet they work together well. Perhaps there can be a tertiary layer where digital superintelligence lies, and that will be vastly more intelligent than the cortex, but still coexist peacefully and in a benign manner with the cortex and limbic system.
That's a super exciting future, both on the low-level engineering that I saw is being done here and the actual possibility in the next few decades.
It's important that Neuralink solve this problem sooner rather than later, because the point at which we have digital superintelligence, that's when we pass to singularity, and things become just very uncertain. It doesn't mean that they're necessarily bad or good, but the point at which we pass singularity, things become extremely unstable. So we want to have a human brain interface before the singularity, or at least not long after it, to minimize existential risk for humanity and consciousness.